The internet. The internet's been around, according to the Wikipedia, since the late 1960s. It was first made its first connection around 1969, and soon after that, the Navy developed a dark web version to communicate with ships. Uh, they were the original ones who actually created it with along with the CIA to communicate without being visible to the internet above. So around 1989, it became public to the actual civilian population. Um, that's where they get that 20-year, the government's 20 years ahead of actual of civilians, and they always think that what we're using now as technology, that the government's been using it for over 20 years now, and they're 20 years in advance from us. And so that's where the octopus, the syndicate, that's where in 1982, they were already offering these programs to different countries, and that's where they introduced the actual coming in through the back door without the individual user knowing that they're actually being watched. So that's where it originates from. And another way too is your electrical outlets at home. Okay, so if you have anything plugged in, like your laptop, they can access it via your electrical outlet, and much easier now because there's no meter maids going around to see how much power you use. It's all by via satellite. So now they can access your actual your meter through a satellite, making it more easier. If it's plugged in, they can access it too. And another thing to watch out for too is if you use digital pictures, you know where it has it has like how do you say it, when your pictures appear and it just keeps on rotating to different pictures throughout the day. This actually came from the FBI. The FBI says to be careful with them because they already leave the actual manufacturer with some kind of bug. Therefore, when you download it in your home, that's how it's introduced into your system. Therefore, they can have access to listening to your, I don't know about watching, but listen to your conversations or actually uh, see what you're displaying, right? So they can get some information, and plus if you're gonna pay for a service, they can pick up your information there too, with that digital album, something like that. I forget what it's called, but that too. Another way too, and this is back in the early '90s too. Um, there was CD-ROMs, right? I'm probably sure you guys still remember that CD-ROMs. In that disc would be a program, and you would insert it into a laptop, and so many feet away from if you park out in somebody's house, it'll pop up a variety of PCs available with that range of that laptop, with that program from the CD-ROM, right? And you can actually guess of which ones you want. Like, if, for example, if your neighbor's a doctor, obviously he's gonna have something on his personal computer about being a doctor or doctor notes or anything medical, right? If you have a teacher, you're gonna see like yearly planners and stuff like that. Now, we're not talking about anything about the internet. That has nothing to do with the internet. We're talking about home personal files. Okay, so they can access it, and they can access your folders through that program. So yeah, obviously it's through a Wi-Fi type, right? But there's no internet has to be involved. But they can they can open up your files and take a look at what you're holding via that CD-ROM, you know. And that's pretty scary because you would think, oh, it's not connected to the internet. I'm pretty safe, but no, it's accessible to actual to your files. Now VPNs, okay, VPNs. I'm not going to tell you to. I suggest you do use VPNs because it'll stop some of the actual to gather information. It does help out. So do keep on using them, but they can actually get into your like for example your cell phone, right? Get into your cell phone, freeze that VPN on you, and you having to delete it because it's frozen. You can't use it. You can't access it. You can't reset it. You can't even. You have to erase the actual app and download it again. They can do that to you, and you're just thinking about it's a glitch or anything, but not. Somebody can be tracking you that way too, and then you have to reload it up, download it again, and log in again. But they've already accessed your actual phone. That's another way to just to mess with you, but they can't do that. Now for this last one, it's called Pegasus, right? And Israel is the one that actually developed this actual software. And according to the Wikipedia, the government has to authorize the sale of that program to groups, countries, governments. They actually have to approve it, right? But why would they approve it to sell it to a cartel? Because the cartels are using them. And I don't know if you guys remember, but the owner of El Pollo Loco, his son, he was tracked down and he was X'd like that, right? But how they got to him through the Pegasus, because the Pegasus can get into your system, and they can actually view everything that your text message, your phone call logs, what you researched in the web, in the internet, direct messaging, emails, Gmail accounts. So they can access all your everything you're doing on your phone, right? So this guy was keeping a low profile. He was the location off of it. He wasn't using that much on his phone, but they got the Pegasus system close to the wife's phone, not knowing that they would have access to the wife's phone because they were going after him, not her. So they got close enough to her, went through her information and her chats. And that's how they were able to track the son down. Not because of his phone, because of his wife's phone. It is allegedly that's how they found him, right? But they did get to him, and that's just a few that are the most popular ones. And on the next video, I'm gonna be going over how the media is used, and how that's why it's so important for them to actually to buy these platforms so they can control them. Yesterday, a Riverside sheriff's officer got gunned down serving an eviction notice, right? And they went to the home to serve it, and the guy opened up with a long rifle. It opened up, and the sheriff passed away. Tragically passed away. But so the news reported it. But remember, it was an eviction notice for the property, right? And the news had the nerve to say that they have not received a motive for the shooting. Really? That's how much control they have over these media. Instead of saying the economy is bad, the economy is getting worse for everybody, hard times are coming here and there, they don't have a motive for why he opened fire on a deputy serving him a service, an eviction notice. That's just, that's how much they had control, right? And also about 60 days ago, about 2 months ago, I Googled who received the first seized oil tanker from Venezuela. It said, it is believed that Israel received the tanker. Come on. Google AI is not going to be assuming, guessing, or spreading chismes. No, it's going to tell you the facts. And that's how much control they have over the platforms. 30 days later, I checked again. Who received the same question, right? And it answered me something about 1958 that Spain received their first. Oh, it went me through the long version of nothing. And that's how they, little bits in there, little bits here, little bits there, and it all ends up to the big old thing to just distract everybody from the truth. And then for sure this next video, it will be on taxpayers and the money that we pay out for nothing in return. Okay? Thanks a lot, guys.